sit here all day and talk about what I'm going to do here, but basically got a stock Crosman 1322 22 caliber pistol I got off Pyramid Air. In itself, it's pretty nice. They shoot up to 460 feet a second, and I'm not going to be sitting talking about that too much. I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do to this pistol to turn it into, say, a good survival gun or something that'll actually have some serious punch, I hope. 80% of this stuff I got here is by a gentleman on eBay by needfulthings_2016. It started out, I got the steel breech off Pyramid Air with the components to it, and what that'll end up doing, it's a longer breech, all metal, enable me to put a scope and everything on. It'll be a very good stabilizer for the barrel that I'll be putting on. Adjustable trigger sear spring, a 14.5-inch rifle barrel, which should greatly add to the accuracy and feet per second. A custom solid brass muzzle brake with the sight pin on it. If I run it with a scope or without, kind of just adds to the appearance, but it's going to extend the barrel a little. Doesn't really do nothing, but might give it some good weight. A super backpacker barrel band for the extended barrel. The barrel goes clean through instead of having to stop at the end. And a Crosman Super Pack RP pump, which will enable me to run up to probably 30 pumps and greatly increasing the amount of energy I can get out of this gun, along with a Boss 25% increase port to let more air through, and then a real hard power hammer spring to drive everything hard. Like I said, I'll be scoping it, be able to put my scope rings and BSA Edge pistol scope on. What I'm going to do is run this through the Chrono, and we'll give a good reading on foot-pounds of energy and the speed. And for the entire test, I'll be using a Crosman 14.3 grain pointed tip lead pellets. I think that's everything. So with that said, we're going to go get set up with a chronograph and see what the stock gun does and start building this and see what happens. All right, I got the Caldwell set up, and it's just fortunate that you can link that to your phone, because by now I'll have put the video on. But I was testing the steel storm out. Look at what I did. Can't read the screen. So anyways, got it linked to the phone, and we will go ahead and shoot 10 shots at 10 pumps, and then I'm going to max this thing out, because I don't care if that blows the piston or not. I want to see how much it'll shoot maxed out. But first I'll have to find out what max actually is, and then we're going to start building it. All right, first up is 10 pumps, 10 shots, 4 feet away. That was 477. That was a no-hitter. Actually, that was 477 as well. 479. 477. 479. Another 479. 479. 478. 479. And 477. Kind of scared to do that gun. Hitting very uniform, and 470 some feet a second. Pretty so stock form, talking an average of 478.1 feet per second. All right, I went to 12 pumps, so let's see what happens. Look at this, 507 feet a second. All right, I just went to 15 pumps. Didn't seem like it got any harder after 12, so let's see what happens. What the hell? 532 feet a second, bone stock, 15 pumps. Kind of scared of this. I'm up to 17 pumps. Pretty wicked. 547. I'm going to 20 pumps, and that's it. Balls. I'm at 20 damn pumps. Arms are sore. I'm not doing any more. 558 feet per second. So just remember that when we do the build. All right, what I got in front of me here, I'm going to run a bone stock 10 pumps with the regular 14.3 Crosmans into a piece of plywood that's, I do believe it's about a 1/2 inch thick. So I'm going to see if I can't punch it through it, and then we're going to pump it up to 20 pumps and try and punch it through. And then we'll do it when I mod it. I do have safety glasses on, so I won't lose an eye. Here we go, about 6 feet away. It ricocheted. I watched that damn thing go way off base. It only put a little dent in it. Not much, probably about 1/4 way through it. Let's try 20 pumps. Stand just a little bit off to the side. We're gonna do 20 pumps. Here we go. That was 10 pumps. Did not go through. 20 pumps. It went through. Busted through the back. 20 pumps. Bone stock Crosman. All right, I'm gonna do 20 pumps. Stepped off 10 paces, or roughly 10 yards, 30 feet. And I'm gonna do 20 pumps. There's where I hit. Stupid thing come out the back. We're gonna have to back up a little bit. All right, I am 20 paces. Don't mind the wheelbarrow and work I'm doing there. 20 paces out. We're gonna see if it'll go through there. Stock, 20 pumps. Seriously doubt it. Nope, they embedded in there though. Look at this. It almost came out. You're talking 60 feet away, and that plywood is pretty close to a half, just under a 1/2 inch thick. All right, got it all done. Got all the mods done on it, and I'll do a quick rundown on what I did, and then we're gonna shoot it. The brass muzzle brake actually works better than what I thought. It's an extension of the barrel. As long as you don't have the holes drilled, it'll produce, and I'd say a good 10 pumps, good 5-7 feet a second more. 14-inch barrel, which helped. The pin for the cocking mechanism. The other stock roll pin slides around and wants to slide out, and it causes issues with pumping when the pump is not centered, and actually makes it quite erratic. People don't realize that, but this pin I ordered, it's got 2 rubber keepers on it. It's a little bit enlarged, so I had to drill it out. That worked great, keeping it steady. The end cap for the barrel is a lot harder plastic and a tighter fitting. Keeps that barrel centered just right, and the cocking mechanism. Heavier hammer spring onto the hammer to drive into the valve harder to dump all the air. A longer bolt probe. And as far as the valve is concerned, it was the modified valve. I modified it a little bit more. I had honed the inside out more and angled the port a little bit, and took the spring out of it, put it in a vise, compressed it, and heated it up a little. So now, before you cock it and try to pump it, it's dumping the air. The spring's light enough that it dumps the air out through the valve. So once you cock it, you can start building the pressure. But then, of course, the Edge BSA scope, I really like these for pistols. And the walnut grips, bought them on eBay. Problem is, I got about 370 bucks into everything, but let's see what it does for shooting. First shot, 10 pump, 14.3 grain. We'll look at the chart when I'm done. That one was 505 feet a second. Second shot, 499. Third shot, 501. Fourth, 501. Fifth shot, 504. 501. 504. 505. 505. Now, one thing with the larger hand grip, it's a lot easier to pump. And I knew with the honing out that valve, I got more basically space in there for air, so it does take more pumps to build up the same amount of pressure. So I lost a little bit there, but where I gain is when I start cranking on the pumps. Last shot, 502. I'll send this to the computer and we'll review it compared to stock, but we're looking at an average of 502 feet per second, probably running around a little over 8 foot-pounds of energy, so pretty good for 10 pumps, decent gain. Now we're gonna do 20 pumps. I'll do 3 shots. 584. Instead, that bigger valve, you gotta pump more. But what with a flat top piston, it'd help, but got a lot more air in there. That was a stupid error. Second shot. 593. Third shot. That was 589. At 20 pumps, I average 588.67, a little over, right around 11 foot-pounds of energy. Let's crank her up a little. We're gonna do 50 pumps. Here we go. 651 feet a second. Now, just for the heck of it, we're gonna run off a few five pump shots for people that don't like to pump a lot. That was 395. 385. 394. All right, just for the heck of it, I got some Gammo 9.8 green alloy pellets. Let's see what happens at 50 pumps. These are copper coated with a pyramid on the end. 726 feet a second. Let's try that again. 730 feet on that one. Still looking at pushing 12 foot-pounds of energy, average of 728 feet a second for them Gammos. All right, this one here, I shaved off the end of it, lightened it up a little bit, probably a couple grains. Let's put it through and see what happens. 742 feet a second. I gotta get a 24-inch barrel and see if I can get up to 900. Pretty good. I want to see how much foot-pounds of energy I can create with some Ruger Super Points. These are roughly 17 grains, and they're a pointed pellet. We're going to crank it up and see what the Crony says on that. 581 feet per second and 13.47 foot-pounds of energy. Not too bad coming out of that little pistol. All right, it's a little windy out, but what I'm going to do is try to punch through that 1/2-inch plywood. I got a camera set up behind it. We're going to go with 30 pumps. All right, I stepped back to 25 yards, or about a little over 30 paces. We're going to try through that 1/2 inch again at 30 pumps. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to run them 9.8 grain Gammos. Now let's see what that does. Thing's stuck in there pretty good. The Gammo didn't even deform. Look at that. It almost penetrated. And I shaved down the Gammo 9.8 grain to hopefully right around 7 grains. One last shot at 50 pumps. I want to see if I can achieve a new record here. Here we go. And I did. 790 feet a second. In case the action cam didn't pick that up. 790. I gotta get a 24-inch barrel. I'm gonna build another one. I want to break the speed of sound. Cheating with that shaved down Gammo bullet or pellet, but there's the numbers. All right, so there you go. Here's the stock. 10 pumps. I was averaging 478 feet a second with a stock 10 pumps, and then I averaged 502 10 pumps after mods. Keep in mind I got that air valve opened up, so it takes a lot of air to reach the same amount of pressure. And then here is modded 20 pumps, averaged 588. Here's modded 50 pumps, shot one time, 651 feet a second. Wicked. It's a lot of pumps though. And here's the modded 50 pumps with them gamos, which are here. If anybody's interested, the Luxor, copper coated. And that averaged 728 feet a second. And here was a modded 50 pump, gamo, or I cut it down a little, ground it down. That one hit, kids are on a go-kart, so 742 feet a second. And there's the big one, 790 with the gamos, ground down a little bit. And check out the links below. Where I bought all this from was this Alchemy Airworks on eBay, and their actual website, Alchemy Airworks. They deal a lot with the Crosman 1322 and 1377. Got a lot of good info on there. There you are. I'm gonna probably make another one here eventually with a 24-inch barrel. I do believe I'll have to cheat a little bit, cut down them gamos, but I think I can break the speed of sound with this. And just the 24-inch barrel with 14 threes will be a hell of a little 22 air pistol. There you go, Crosman 1322 build.